Welcome back, my friends. It's the show that never ends, Taco Tuesday, here on the big show. Corked Stats, fastest freaking show in MLB, absolutely anywhere, with your homeboy. Big Johnny Stud, yo, coming to you worldwide, Brooklyn, New York, as always, coming out that damn chair, as always. Italian Tasmanian Devil out the fucking cage, yo. Follow me on Twitter at John the Gazer, flow, sharper than a razor. What's going on, mi gente, yo? Baseball's version of 300. Give the book nothing. Take from that bitch everything. It's not madness, baby.
This is Sparta!
You damn right it is. What's up, Spartans? Awaguan. Buen dia. Bienvenidos to Scott in the Nose, B. Rose, Stevie S, Adonis in the bitch, BC Yellow, Trent C, Caleb G, USMC. Wow, poet. Didn't even know it. Good to see you, Sammy. You too. Couldn't forget you, player. All right, I firmly lost my fucking mind. If you're still doing this baseball thing at the end of August, bless our hearts. Fucking true psychopaths for real. A word up, yo. Oh man, follow me on Twitter at John the Gazer. Same handle over on Substack, where $2 a week gets you like 8.5 pounds of shit in a 2-pound box. The box ain't growing, but I'm fucking standing on it like when you're packing for the trip, you're standing on the fucking thing trying to get it closed, man. Baseball and football, just rock and roll and everything. Stats, data, projections. Fucking, it's crazy. I can't even keep up with all the baseball side, K projections, applied team totals, football side, advanced stats, uploadable best ball stuff, modeled the full season with standings, modeled the first week, did player projections for New England and St. Louis. We are just literally rock out with the cock out, hang out with the wang out, stick out with the dick out. All right, let's go. Enough of that shit. More of this. Best part of waking up. A little bit of algorithm in the mug, brother. Doesn't work for me, brother. I'm gonna do the same thing I do every day. Try and take over the world, Pinky. I'm gonna try and be fast. It never works. I mean, just really quick, in case anyone was wondering, no email yesterday because I didn't bet. You should never wait for an alert for data. Data just goes up. Though to that point, very weird. I get my bullpen data from the roster resource page on Fangraph, just never revamped. So I'm a little blind on the bullpens today. I don't have yesterday's usage. Maybe I need like a backup. It's normally so reliable, like me. You can normally set your watch by it. Okay, with that, I didn't bet yesterday. I lost. I don't want to go back into it. I lost a friend really entirely too early. Deal with any more fucking baggage right now. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get back into it today. It felt really good to be away from it again. Sometimes that little bit of extra stress is just enough to throw you off your game. When I have a lot of bullshit going on, I'm still going to do the work. We're still going to provide everything, but I need to stay focused. First up, I got Flat Fucking Fish of Florida, Ian Seymour, full docket, by the way, all at night. I usually love these. So Ian Seymour going for the Fish, minus 130 on the road, Detroit Rock City. Face Jackson, Book of Job, and the Tigres down an 8 Mile. I think we might get Legumina to open, which again is fine. I'm not even sure why it matters. The Tigers have been like atrocious. I mean, Riley Green is a damn good player, but man, the second Green went down, they went to shit. Cold World, good to see. I love to see new faces in here. The one and only Johnny. What's going on, Spoon Man? My boy says good luck to everybody. Same for you, Mr. Toronto. Be custom, man. All the usual suspects rolling in. Yeah, once you get a whiff of this, the little stink finger. we are giving books to Shocker. Yo, Jeff Fell doesn't work for me, brother. Speaking of 1 in the pink, 2 in the stink. All right, so I really like Seymour. I think he's the significantly better pitcher here. Job does have arm talent, prospect pedigree, hasn't really hit the ground running yet. I think that could happen even this season, but he's still in that kind of spring training. Let's just condense it into stringing, right? So I think we need to be patient, but it's been ugly. Listen, he's not filling his own. He's not getting swings and misses. So before we're ready to jump on like, oh, high arm talent, we have Seymour significantly better than that 4.5 ERA. Forget that. That's bullshit. He is very, very good. He can be a little daring, working up in the zone, but I think right now is probably the time to go get them. Tigers haven't hit for shit, like I mentioned. They haven't hit lefties for power in particular. The approach has been good. Will be interesting to see, though, something we spoke about the Tigers all year. They can be a bit too patient. And so, like, yeah, your disciplinary stats are going to pop when you're entirely too patient. This comes down to the Rays offense. They've been like a little bit hit or miss. They were running really hot, slowed up a little bit. I was doubting the powder. That's kind of manifested. But I think overall, they're probably the better offense. Both defenses are really kind of dragging ass. Man, I don't know. I've got the Rays to win. The more I look at it, the more kind of doubt I have. Maybe the Legomina opener, which I'm usually not a big fan of, maybe that'll help us right at the front end, providing he gets out scoreless. So I think I like the Rays, but the price is like, it's right on the, I'm on the edge and glory. It's right on the edge for me. Minus 130, where, I like it. Also, we have the MLB Dream trademark nudge pick, right? Where one team at 4.5, one team at 3.5 without the orange box. Money line inside minus 130 with the wind blowing in. If we're, maybe on the fence. I think the Rays. I think the Rays get it done. Sorry, of course, I forgot the stupid banner again. So for the second day in a row, if you were scanning and looking because you don't want to hear all the bullshit introduction, I don't blame you. You got to back it up for the Rays. And, as they say, Los Santos. Next up, it is Red Sox, and it is Marlins. My boy, Peyton Tollhouse Cookie on the bump for the Red Laundry. Very heavy, minus 160 favorite on the road against Tyler Phillips and the mighty Marlins of Miami. Yeah, this one, I'm not really usually pushing minus 160s on people. This feels like a pretty good front half of a blend bet. Pairing this money line with another one that we like, then getting a little bit of exposure on the run line for the Red Sox. One hang up here for that would have to be the price. Minus 160, I'm not a fan of. Plus 105 on the run line, also not a fan of. Don't really like the pricing here. I may just stop at the pairing. I don't know what the right answer is when you don't like the price. Some people might just tell you, don't fucking bet it. Other people will tell you, well, if you think the 160 is a winner and a value, then you just bet that. I don't normally go to minus 160 favorites, and it's not to say that you can't do that. I've always said that's probably a hole in my personal game. I just would always rather either pair with lower risk. We've beaten this to fucking death. Anyway, Phillips has not been good, right? And Toll has been excellent. And I think the offenses, Boston has the big edge, right? Miami's been sucky. They're especially bad against lefties. The Boston bullpen has been very good, where the Marlins have struggled. I know Chapman pitched yesterday, but again, I keep refreshing this stupid page, and it's just not filling in. So again, kind of flying blind a little bit on the bullpen stuff. I'll get it up the second it does. I'll get the report out, and I'll get the fucking emojis out, but I can only do what I can do. I can't go hand mine every game for data. I just can't do that. I would default to the, more general stats and stuff. And then maybe if you're going to pull the trigger, you go hand mine those. So, yeah, give me Boston. I'm not coming off that one. To me, it's Boston with the kill shot, which I guess is funny. If I think that, then maybe I think the plus 105 is fair, which then maybe makes that minus 160 of value if you actually hear me barking, dog. All right. Next up, we got Rockies, and we got Nacionals. Mason Adams on the bump for the Rocks on the road. Shit, I was just looking this up. It's hard to get into any Rockies pitchers. 26-year-old righty. Oh, this is a debut. I thought I had to. Oh, yeah, Mason Adams. This is his debut. So we're generally fading these guys in the first place. Fangraphs is fucking up today, man. Oh, there's my custom. My custom pages are not popping up. All right, he's having a nice season in the minor leagues. We do like the track record because he generally has good command and control. Though we saw that happen for Pecco. Again, in these debuts, you got to be very careful. Doesn't give up home runs. You get a lot of ground balls. This is a profile that I think can stick. So we're not trying to go full gas can. Also, I know the Nats were incredible yesterday. Sometimes I feel like when a bad offense, the Nats are not a good offense. They did get Abrams back, which helps. I think they may have busted their load. But yeah, Adams is probably going to be representative. Rocks plus 137 underdog down in the nation's capital to face Double-A, the enforcer, Andrew Alvarez, who's been a little bit hit or miss also, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like the ERA is a little bit too low for all the underpinning stuff. Poor command and control, doesn't get ahead. Does pretty well with the elevation stuff. Let's check the home. It's like, okay, L7, he's really outperformed. I mean, 236, 101 ERA whip combo last 30. But, expected ERA and indicators north of 4 single-digit KBB. I think, maybe we'd actually be looking for some negative regression here. But the Rockies haven't hit lefties for shit. I feel like the Nats haven't hit for shit either last 2 weeks versus righties. It's been kind of disgraceful. So, yeah, I think I'm going with the with the load busted theorem. I think I'm with the program here. I think I'm on the under. I'm a little bit worried that the price is too heavy for a team I don't really believe in. Again, Rockies bullpen bad, Nats bullpen bad, right? And if Adams just does his ground ball thing, right? We don't need him to go up and like dominate and dazzle guys. We just need him to do what he's always done, which is throw strikes in the lower third, where I don't think the price covers this one. I'm a little bit worried, man. The comments just going nuts. I see Trevor up in there. That's generally what happens when he's in there. Good to see you, my friend. Good morning. J Main up in the bitch, as always. My boys. Man, this is just awesome. Okay, Spoon says, Spoon, you're the man, bro. Thank you so much. Let's check this out. RotoWire bullpen usage. Sorry to take everybody on a Mr. Toad's wild ride, but like I'm legit flying blind without it. Appreciate Spoon just part of the Source Network crew with TV Jones. Make sure you're following all these guys. Yeah, Jamie, a lot of us wait. I have to stop doing that. Is wasting my time in the Rockies. Shout out again, Spoon. Oh, look at this. This is very similar, but like he said there, it's in reverse. Oh, you fuckers. Isn't that funny? You're right. It reads right to left, not left to right. Okay. So if we have questions with the bullpen, again, I appreciate you, Spoony. Yeah, funny. Fangraphs is normally so reliable. I just hadn't needed a backup at all. Mark S. says, a good morning, my Spartans.
Spartan! What is your profession?
Shout out Omi Gente in the comments. Yeah, so this one could totally get away from it. I don't trust either one of them. In fact, I'm even giving the model a little bit of the stink eye for liking the Nats even this much. But again, I'd be pumping the brakes on the price. I'm definitely not a fan. Next up, it's bad guys on bad guys, right? Heel on heel. Ethan Pecco going for the Stros plus 130 dog on the road to face Wee Willie Warren in the New York Yankees. New York Yankees minus 140 favorites at the crib. I'm going to give you a little copy and paste, right? This actually is like a legit copy and paste on the analysis from the last game. However, I would say but, the big kind of shaking butt in the room is now Pecco had his debut and he was representative. Now, he wasn't great, but the reason I see that same kind of profile, although I also trust the Astros more than I trust the Rockies as far as development. Why wouldn't you? Pecco, not really a big kind of prospect. He was having a okay season in the minors. But again, Astros good at recognizing the things that matter. And despite his ERA being like a little bit inflated, really good KBB, decent swinging strike, super high ground ball, very low home run rates, right? That's the kind of archetype that plays in transition to the majors, right? He's going up and like just confusing people and blowing people away and getting them to I've been finding chasing is like a big one also. Like guys that have really high strikeout rates predicated on big chase rates doesn't always play because MLBers are not as, they're more disciplined, let's say. So anyway, back into this one. Pecco, again, was not great, but he was okay. He went 3 2/3, gave up just 2. The walks were an issue. That's never been a part of his game. That's why we fade guys in the debut. I think Pecco might be okay. Where Warren's been kind of crappy also. A lot of his stats, in fact, are front loaded. Warren got out of the box so hot. Now he's kind of dragging everything else down. I mean, nothing really sticking out. Not, all the lack of swing and miss we knew was going to come back to bite him. He never had great control, right? And now some of the luck stats are kind of turned against him a little bit. Left on base, homer to fly ball. And now, not that I think he's like an exception to the rule of positive regression. The thing is, I was never buying it because he never really had all the out pitch stuff. And last 30 days, you could see kind of spinning off the rails. 6.25 ERA, 5.5 expected. Sierra is a little interesting. KBB may be interesting. So again, maybe Warren not junk, but also I don't think he deserves the pricing on this one. Where do you put the offenses? I'm not digging the Yankee offense. I mean, Astros offense has been maybe worse than anybody the last 2 weeks versus righties. This is why the model likes them, because the Astros just kind of tanked right now. And it's on a lack of discipline with a lot of chase, plus swing and miss, no hard hit stuff. I mean, if you're going to make the Yankees offense look good right now, you really suck. And again, here's another. I'm not going to rag on WRC Plus in small samples again, but here's a pretty good example of why. Shit, you know, I just noticed. I'm losing my mind. I did a football video yesterday, and didn't realize I had a football field in the background. I know it doesn't really matter, but like, I just hate. I'm OCD'd and like I hate kind of messing up. Jeff L. The big wet shaking Ohio asses. Yeah, they just love the shocker. We got our peaches down in Georgia. We got our weed from California. And obviously we get our hose from a fucking trailer park in Ohio. Billionaires. I fucking love it. They're just like us, people. Dirtbags. What a fucking dirtbag. I love it. Oh my God. Love it. Holy shit. That was a crazy story. Oh my gosh. That was crazy shit, man. Fucking billionaire. Oh, God. Billionaires up in the trailer park. Go fucking figure. All right. Believe it or not, get back on track finally. I think I'm on the under on this one because I think the 9 is a little bit too high. I'm not crazy about the Yankees. I do think they win. And I do think at minus 140, we're probably not getting the ninth frame. I think books are, or whoever, you know, the market makers are short selling Pecco, and then maybe even short selling Warren and overselling the offense is considering two very good bullpens in this one. So, all right, let's move on. I'm definitely on the under 9. Sorry, that was just fucked up, man. We're going off the rails. We're losing our minds. Okay, it's late August in the baseball sphere. Like, if you're really down with this shit, you are truly one of us. All right, next up, Seth Lugo on the bump for the Royals with cheese, plus 116 underdog against old Blue Eye, Max Scherzer, and the fucking Bluebirds. I don't think Scherzer should be a big fucking favorite to anybody. I'm not really buying Lugo either. He's kind of been broken. Both of these guys have fucking objectively stunk. Scherzer's been terrible. The underpinning stuff is terrible also. Still doing the home run thing. I mean, Scherzer should not be favored in this one. It's not like the Blue Jays offense is raking. Royals have been good after getting Jack Calcs back. So this one is pretty much that easy for me. I think though, man, I don't know if I got the balls to bet the Royals because the bullpen is probably right. It's objectively, quantifiably the worst bullpen in the league, if not like on the list of the bottom 3. Blue Jays bullpen has actually been pretty good. But I don't know if it's going to be enough to get me to pay fucking juice for this one. I'm surprised, but we don't have the Royals scoring a little bit more. Modeled down right around just under 4.25. I'd like to go over the 8.5. I'm going to fade this one. I think the Royals win. I like the Royals at F5. Again, it's not really showing up in the model. Not that I won't ever go against the Algo, but this does have a red flag just because I like to do the board read stuff sometimes. I don't like to oppose teams I have modeled for over 2.5 runs. I think that's a major red flag. And I think in that case, I think you just start looking at totals, both at 4.5, Royals plus 110, Jays minus 105. This one is really ugly. I have no interest in this, like, whatsoever. Next up, we got Cheesemakers in Beertown. Oh, no, sorry. Cheesemakers leaving Beertown, heading to Queens. Kyle Harrison on the bump for the Brewers, minus 155. Favorite on the road against Zach Attack Thornton and the Let's Go Mets Go. TV Jones, what do you think about the Brew Crew today? Scott, good to see you. What's going on, man? Yeah, Caleb says that game is gross. And Scott with the old Poo Crew. Yeah, I heard that, man. Every time I seem to bet with the Brewers, they just do the opposite of what I want them to do. Right? I'll go against them, knowing that they can hurt you, and they will. I'll back them, knowing that they can be good at times, and they won't be. Harrison, I do think, is excellent, and maybe the type of pitcher to carry that juice. Against Thornton, I'm not so sure. Now, I think there's a very strong argument that Zach Thornton has kind of outkicked the surface stats, 304/113 ERA whip combo. Indicators not really buying it. The K rate's not really there. The CSW is too low, entirely too much zone contact. And though the fly ball rate is not that high at 34, he does not create any pop-ups. It tells you he's not really good at creating, right, those whiffs and, again, infield flies up out of the zone, up around the nose and above. So I think that's where the barrel rate comes from on the low velo four-seamer. So as much as I want to like Thornton because he profited for us early on, I think we're seeing in the last 30 days some of those indicators sign of come back to life, back to reality. It's just a matter of the Mets offense, I think, being a little bit better than the pricing shows. Again, if you're going to pay this, I want to go up against a bad pitcher and a bad offense. That's just not the case. Mets have been hitting, lefties included. Brewers have actually hit lefties pretty well, though I'd have to easily give in and concede. It's not nearly as believable. 300 plate appearances versus lefties as a team, 27K, 13 swinging strike, 51 ground ball. They even give a shit about the rest of it? Yeah, they produce because the BABIP is high. Not really buying this. As much as I really like Harrison, I have a hard time paying, like, big time pricing. Mets bullpen has also been really good. Not to be outdone by the Brewers. This total at 7.5, even, it's like fucking right on the nose, man. Book's feeling very sharp with totals lately. I feel like there might have been a time we get this at 8. Models not buying it. And models, in fact, really not buying anything. I guess you could twist my arm that this one ends 4-3. Right, we have neither side modeled over that critical 4 number on the mean, but still, I'm out. I think this feels like where I've gotten stung in the arse so many times, what we've called defaulting to the favorite, right? Thinking that the favorite's going to win, but having enough red flags that we kind of worry about it getting done at the price. So I'm going to fade this one also. It looks like I might be taking another day off. Next up, we got Trolley Dodgers and Bravos. Tyler Glasnow on the bump for the boys in blue, minus 157 on the road against Bryce the Elder in the Dirty Dirty. It's going to be hot as shit down south today. This would normally be a spot that I could see sticking another, blend bet in, but I don't want to back Glasnow in the return. I would pump the brakes on that. I always do. I just never like that. Glasnow, awesome pitcher. There's no question. Like on a per inning basis, my man is filthy. Plus, you get distance from him. He's a great pitcher. He really is. But the injury is just building up. This one was a back, so I know it's not an arm, right? The backbone's connected to the arm bone. But I'm still worried, right? He hasn't thrown a pitch in the big since the first week of May. Let's check the rehab stuff. Fuck. Okay. So now maybe we do like it. This depends how you like to treat minor league rehab. This is something, again, we've talked about ad nauseum. I don't have an answer. I have built parameters anecdotally, which then I try and back test. Through the years. The things we're looking for is a good length. He's had 4 rehab bad starts. What did I say? 4 rehabs. I don't know what the fuck I just said. 4 rehab starts. Okay, check. We're also looking for stretching. He went 2, 2 and a third, 3.2, 5.1. Check. We're also looking, over 5 is a bonus. Correct. We're also looking for production. He gave up 2 earned runs in those 13 and 2/3. He struck out 20 batters, walked just 4. So, like, with a .51 ERA and a 33 K minus BB, man, maybe Glasnow's feeling pretty good. Braves offense has been fucking terrible. Man, am I going to back a debut? I generally don't do it, but I don't like Elder at all. He's been one of those guys that makes me visibly upset. Every time he pitches well, he just always seems to outkick the indicators and the peripherals. He's got a bad four-seamer that I think he throws too much. Now he's added allowing home runs into the profile, and yet this guy is constantly priced. Well, I just don't get it. I'm not buying it. Not buying it. Dodgers offense has not been great. I get it. The bullpen has started to pick up steam once again. So, this one feels rough. To pair the Dodgers with who the fuck did we like before? Was it Red Sox? Talk about, like, the donkey play on the road. TV. Oh, let me back that up really quick. I didn't see when Trevor chimes in on the Brewers, I listen. He was talking about Harrison on the road. I hadn't picked up on that. Is it bad? Harrison on the road is pretty brutal. So, yeah, I wasn't buying the price in the first place, but I think you kind of pushed me over on that one. Nose likes the Mets F5 plus 130. Yo, man, that's something like that. Caleb has this as a finger in the coolie kind of game. USMC appreciates you, and I agree. Trust the process. We're getting a discount because of the return. This should be minus 170. You know what, man? Another kind of great point, something I get in front of myself with sometimes. Because for me, right, all the stuff that I just rattled off a million things, and I didn't mention, I mentioned the price, but not how it applied, right? So I think you're right. I think my worries about the buildup, one, are like assuaged by the actual, what we saw, plus the performance, and then in the price. So shout out my guy. That was a good fucking message for everybody. Yeah, I think you can get with the Dodgers today. They have it every way. I know the model is not loving it. Maybe that return punishment right again. So to be very clear what you're looking at, I don't bullshit use ever. I do have an adjustment, right? There's a penalty in the return start. I didn't readjust it from all the shit that I just said. So I like the Dodgers. I'm gonna put Dodgers blend. And I don't know if I'm gonna find the kind of CO Jones. Let me just ask everybody really quick: is the quality coming in again? I feel like I'm skipping a little bit, but my videos have been coming out clear. I did I was re-racking drivers and shit on my computer. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. Legit, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. But anyway. Next up, we got Rangers and White Sox. Jake the Snake DeGrom on the bump for the Rangers, minus 127. Favorite on the road in the south side of the Windy City to face Anthony. Every kiss begins with K, and the Pale Hose plus 105 at the crib. I am shocked and giving the algorithm the absolute stink eye that it has the White Sox winning this game outright. What is going on here? I love DeGrom. This is a perfect example of those times people ask me, I think people think that I force the algorithm sometimes. Where, hold on, look at this. If you're looking up at the board for audio people, if you look at this one, if you highlight the bottom numbers, obviously the algorithm takes numbers to fucking decimal points. I can't possibly fathom. I have it formatted so you only see 2. But I assure you that's not how the math works. So I just clicked on the White Sox, and to give you an idea, I have the White Sox for 3-855-03-03-555556. And I have the Rangers for 753-652. Right, so it's I was wondering just how close it was. Talk about a hair. Anyway, yeah, I don't just punch in numbers. I don't know what's going on. Love DeGrom. I'm kind of iffy on K. I think he's, outperformed the skill set. I think he's outperformed the peripherals. I mean, you can see how it works. There's some light hit ground balls here. He keeps the home runs in check. The righty splits are kind of terrifying. I mean, he's been good last 30, but DeGrom's been very good last 30. Maybe part of the worry is a DeGrom on the road thing. I'm in disagreement with the model on this one. I like the Rangers offense versus lefties. I've been kind of skeptical of the White Sox offense in general. White Sox versus righties last 370 PAs. They're batting .232. K rate north of 24. Swing strike rate north of 13. Too many ground balls. Now, the Rangers righty stuff has been rough. The lefty stuff is not as bad. White Sox really kind of solely and firmly relying on home runs to get it done. I guess part of this issue has got to be with the bullpens. Man, I like that last 5 pitch count thing for the Rangers. I don't know how to fucking read this thing, though. It's like not, it's by pitches. Oh my God, this is, somebody please get me fucking Fangraphs back. So it looks like Latz went but had the night off. He's a guy we care about. Wynn went, had the day off. Alexander, they should be fine. And then White Sox, oh my God, this is for the fucking birds, bro. This is for the fucking birds. No, White Sox arrested Taylor, Smith, Newcomb, all had the day off. Though they did have decent workloads on Sunday. They were off Saturday. So, yeah, I guess bullpens are both rested. Holy shit, that was the fucking stone cold word. I'm not doing that again. I'm legit not doing that again. We could just deal with it. Okay. Fangraphs actually just populated. So I'll get this stuff up in a few minutes after I get off the air. Let's get back on track with this one. Remind me to send Jason Martinez a love letter right at the end of the fucking season, Shout out my quants out there, man. Holy crap. All right, back on track. Yeah, I don't know. Is it me? Am I a boomer that I think Jacob deGrom is going to beat Anthony K? Caleb saying Nerfy. I guess I could buy that. Man, I kind of like the Rangers here. Yeah, I'd be like disagreeing with the model. I think for whatever reason, I think people are buying the Grom Road stuff where, yeah, a little fugazi, man. A little fugazi. It's a fucking fugazi. How do you know it's a fugazi? You looked at the fucking thing for 2 seconds. It's a fugazi. It's a fake. I know what it is. You want to see a beautiful thing? Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, but it's not my thing. Next up, it's the Orioles. Basset Hound on the bump. Plus 109 on the road against Mr. Freedom, Matty Liberatore, and the Cardinals. I got to make sure that Liberatore's listed. Weird, when I was pulling my strikeout prop data this morning, also included in the pile of shit that you get for just $2 a week. Don't be a cheap bitch your whole life. Find out what the fucking hubbub is about. Again, if you're like into data and these unsolvable puzzles and just, gosh, I don't think you could beat the fucking price here. Suck it up. Pay the $88. You get it for the year. You're covered for baseball and, football. Okay, so, yeah, Liberatore brought back like a question mark or whatever. His props weren't listed, so I worried maybe they were going to pull him back because we really like the Cardinals in this spot. Liberatore is doing like a late season breakout kind of thing, which has been interesting. Check this out. I thought when I was pulling it, he drew the weird return, so I ended up getting the Eye of Sauron on him. And man, he is shoving last 30 days. The model started popping. Again, it's not just this simplified. But the model was popping to take a look at what Liberatore was up to. Again, remember, this is a former first-round pick, 26 years old. Like, we could be talking about, breakout territory. He was really good at Toronto. Colorado kind of got to him. He was good at the Cubs. He was good at the Reds in that building. Struck out 9. Walked 0. So I'm buying in on Liberatore, who I think despite the 5 ERA is the significantly better pitcher here. Bassett is like ass right now. He probably doesn't belong in the rotation. Orioles probably wish they had fucking Krispy Kreme out there today. Orioles, I think, yeah, it's funny. I maybe have to bite. I gotta take a quick fucking L because I was gonna say you could attack them versus lefties, and that's usually the book on them. And there is some weakness. They have struck out, hit for low average, but man, with the elevation and power band, with the lack of chase, it's hard to like dogpile them. Right now, Orioles have actually hit lefties pretty well, so maybe that's a reason for the season here. Cardinals offense has been really spotty. On any given day, they can give it to you. There's young talent. That's kind of how that stuff works, right? Weatherholt, Walker, even Herrera. You know, guys that can pop. Man, Oriole bullpen has also been pitching well. Maybe I got to back that ass up on this one. My love for Liberatore, not to say misplaced, but again, kind of price determinant. I don't know if it's really there. I've got pretty good strength on the model, right? When this would also be a parameter if I ever had my young apprentice. Would be, right, one of the kickers would be you're identifying games over half a run at minus 130 or better. Shit, man. Plus the home team. I just think Bassett is so freaking bad that I think we get it done. I'm going St. Louis in this one. I gotta go with the gut, man. I gotta go with the gut. And I'm like, when the big belly and the model are in alignment, like, I gotta do that. What else am I doing? What is it you'd say you do here? Next up, we got the Cleveland Cardinals. My gosh, somebody end the season. Throw it down! Throw the damn down! My boy G-Dub on the bump. Gavin Williams going for the guards. Minus 150 on the road against Walbert Urania. Fucking coolest name, man. And the Halos, they're plus 123 at the crib. I mean, Angels fucking suck. They strung together some wins. I'm not really buying it. Urania's been a bright spot, though. There's no way around it. I get frustrated. It's what it is. It's frustrating at times.
It's frustrating.
When, you see just one of the worst four-seamers in the game producing this well, 12% walk, 55 first strike, and you're like, man, how does it keep getting away with this? And again, there's just something to controlling the zone with weak ground balls. There's just something to that. Being able to get that pitch in there when it counts. Urania's done just that. If I'm not mistaken, he's been pretty good at the crib. Now, that said, Gavin Williams is like one of the best pitchers, pound for pound, in the world. Right now, do you trust the Angels to hit him? They've been ass. They're fucking terrible. Not like the Guardians are much better, but they are good. Got to keep an eye on DeLauder, who got scratched yesterday. Sorry, but I missed the news. TV, I'm with you. Likes the Cardinals to pop off, not to back it up, but yeah. J-Main going the flip side. Orioles with the run line cover. Now, I hate to disagree with people I think are so sharp. Jay, my thing would be, man, you have confidence in Bassett. That's the crazy part. Notice, I don't disagree that you could get your outcome. I don't disagree because we've talked about the home runs for the Orioles. That said, I think then you should be on the over because I feel like Bassett giving up 3 or 4 through 5 is probably in the books. My boy Joey Lobster up in the bitch. What's going on, fellow felons? He said it's only August, man. Only fucking August, yo. Holy shit, I'm losing my mind. All right, we got to charge, baby. We got to get some fucking momentum going. So, man, I like Williams. He's one of the guys that I would pay the tax for. I'd even, you try and find a spot in your heart as bad as the Cleveland offense is. But, look, man, the Angels bullpen, I mentioned them winning games. That's been the reason why. Angels bullpen is humming right now. I actually have the usage, so let me check that out. Because, again, they're rested, man. Joyce is on rest. Watson's on rest. Firmino's on rest. They're just, doing the thing. So funny. Again, add the Angels onto the list of teams. It's been going on all year. We saw it happen with the Marlins at Fairbanks. We saw it happen with the Astros and Hader. It's happening. We saw it happen with the Twins and, Yendris Gomez. There's something to when you install a player. Now, in Hader's case, he was already a top-tier closer. Fairbanks maybe also he's a capital C closer, but not this is not hand. There's something about a guy with a role, a defined role that gets results that the whole fucking staff, the whole unit, I should say, just kind of takes off. So, man, I like Cleveland to win. I think Gavin Williams beats Walbert Urania. With that, this feels a little risky. Urania could absolutely shut down the guards, and the bullpen could absolutely steal the fucking deal. And the model is actually under the 7.5. Gosh, I would have really liked to get this at freaking 8. What is the pricing at? Ooh, and it's a juiced under 7.5. So I don't know, man. Again, I'm really iffy on this whole slate that we're taking entirely too much time to talk through because I keep winding up on the fucking fence and trying to rationalize something. Jeez Louise, what a day. Next up, Baby Bears, Clay Holmes on the hill, -112, right around split, -110 both ways to face the Snakes with shapes on their back. My boy Brandon Pfaadt going for the Diamondbacks. Man, Pfaadt's been so good. Did he finally get touched? Right, I think he did. I swear I saw people victory lapping a Brandon Pfaadt hurdle or hiccup. All right, he gave up 5. It was 3 homers through 5 2/3 to a very good Boston lineup. He walked none, struck out 8. I'm sorry. If this is like your RDRR, like that was your slam dunk on this fucking guy. After as phenomenal as he's been, right? Not just good, he's been flat out great. The 77 starter innings are now pristine. Right after what was a terrible start, you could see me flipping through it. Lots of red on the board. He's been excellent at home, one of the best pitchers the last 30 days, including a 5-earned run outing. He still has a 1.35 ERA in that span. I mean, you could suck it. Clay Holmes is the guy that I really doubted. However, that said, Holmes, I think, may be rounding out into form. Right, he was the guy we were also worried about because of the broken routines with the injury stuff in his return. I think I may have faded him and got burned on the anus with that one. He's been really good last 2 starts. Feels like Holmes maybe corrected course. 6 2/3 scoreless versus St. Louis. Then 5 1/3 gave up just 1 to the mighty White Sox. However, he struck out a total of freaking 5 batters in his last 16 innings. So you're going to be pitching to contact to the Diamondbacks, and I think that matters because they've done stuff with their contact all season. Big question and the fail point for Arizona, if you're backing them that way, has got to be the Cubs bullpen. Arizona bullpen also kind of struggling. Man, I wonder what the price, do we have to pay premium or a tax, I should say, on the Arizona F5? That would kind of be the thing I'm looking for the most. I wonder if we're getting a bonus. No. Book's a little bit unsure with this one. It's just -110 everywhere, Man, so I'm kind of on the fence if you're just 2 ways to look at this. So this is we have a battle of the model minds going on right now, right? So 2 situations, just stuff that I like to have people look out for. One, we mentioned the trademarked nudge play. 4.5, 3.5 totals. Inside -130. We've got that with the Cubs. I don't blind bet those, right? Those are just always a point of interest. However, and this is maybe a bit of a rarity, not sure what the prevailing signal is or how to treat it. I'd be interested in what people think. I'm more into the other signal, which is when I have an underdog modeled as a favorite, Triple, however, is that same kind of underdog, doesn't lead with a plus. So maybe this one is just priced perfectly, and I'm squinting for it, man. I like the price on Pfaadt. I have a little more doubtful with Holmes, although now I'd be afraid because again he's just sinker power. He doesn't need the strikeouts to get it done. So for me, it's another fucking fence play, and I wonder if this is because my mentals are still a little shaky and being a bitch, or if there's actual kind of, cause for some concern here. Let's move it on. Next up, yar, mateys. It's the Pirates and Paulie Skeens. Paul Skeens is an underdog. Market's finally capitulating against El Rey, Michael King, and the Padres. Minus 124 favorites at home, man. I don't think I could pay juice to face Skeens. Good to see you, Jerry Davis. Good morning to you, too, my friend. Man. Toronto, I'm not sure what line you were talking about, if you're talking about the guards or you're talking about the last one. Then what's the deal with this line? I don't know. Spoonie's on the spot fade. So then, yeah, hold on, T, I'm going to get Trevor, you mother effer. Hold on. Spoon into the fade, so you have to like the Cubs, right? Spoon, you want the Cubs win, or you want the team total? Right? I mean, there's two ways to skin that cat without scratching its asshole. Trevor with the pushback says, I'll gladly pay juice to fade Skeens. Oh my God. Dude, how dare you? How dare you? Skeens, Paul Skeens sucks. No. All right, let's go to the videotape. Paul Skeens is through 139 human innings in the Major League Baseball organization on Earth. He has a 114 whip. He has a 395 ERA, and all of his indicators are below 3.5. My personal indicator, which, by the way, has tested out better than Sierra and expected ERA each of the last two seasons, has Paul Skeens as a 3.22 ERA pitcher. Michael King, by the way, north of 5. Okay. Paul Skeens, 30% K, 23 KBB, 13.5 swinging strike. That's awesome. Now, granted, he's failed to get ahead, and that he's paid for that. However, but, big, shaking, sopping, wet anus. 67 left on base, 308 BABIP. Dude, you're missing me with these as skill-based things. Now, I haven't had the time to do it. I encourage anyone to go look it up. I think you can get it on Fangraphs in the splits tool. I'd be really interested to see if the splits for Paulie Skeens are off the rails with men on base. The reason I mention that is, this is something I've been talking about for a while, I never had the computing power, and now I might for next season. Shout out to the Claude bot. But when pitchers have the wind up with nobody on, and then the stretch with men on. So the reason I ask, you have to split runners and no runners. Nobody splits wind up and stretch. That's not a split we have. I wish it was. Or I wish it were. But sometimes, right, we may find, and this is what I think is going on. So I'm actually going to agree with Trevor. Not that he sucks, but I think you might be okay fading Skeens. My worry is, again, this is based on the left on base rate in combination with all those other skills. It's possible he's tipping from the stretch, which would explain I'm sorry, you're just going to, if people are really coming at like he sucks, I know you're tongue in cheek. If people are really coming at like Skeen sucks, those numbers do not suck. You suck. You suck. 30% K rates are awesome. 23.5% KBB is fucking awesome. We don't do that, right? But it's also possible. Guys shake the glove sometimes. Guys tip, right? So that's when you hear like tipping pitchers sometimes. No, Spoon, again, I'm sorry. I checked that this morning. Velo was back in the last start. I went to check that. I had to check that, right? Because that's something that we'd actually move the model for. But that wasn't the case. It came back. So now, if you want to tell me that you're worried about any kind of volatility, I'm going to concede that to you. Remember, guys, your analysis means a lot to me. But when I go and check it, I got to put the 10 fat toes down. So, and again, it's even in the last 30, right? The Sierra is below 4 and the KBB is at 17. The same or better than Michael King. You know, again, he's been unlucky. When balls find grass, it's easy to jump on these guys. So I like Skeens. I still think they freaking win. Again, we spent entirely too much time on that. Pirates' offense has kind of stunk, though it's been nice to get O'Neal Cruz back. Though, man, the last 7 has gone to shit for the Pirates. They're one of the worst offenses in the league last 7. Maybe I have to back off that shit. Because the Padres, again, the bullpen's really good. I just have this tied. So when I have an essential tie, I generally defer to the underdog. Now, Jeff, this is something. Jeff says, mechanics are off. Past few years, he'd hide the ball better. Batters are reading the ball earlier because he's not keeping it behind his body. Now, that sounds like something that could be the frog DNA to create the dinosaur right there. Right, so again, notice, everybody, even within my pushbacks, I'm kind of conceding. So my short show turned into a fucking long show. But again, you know, it's what we do. There's no one doing this shit. Like, I love it, and you love it. If you're fucking doing, if you're here, you gotta love this because there's nothing quite like it. So I still think the Pirates get it done. I mean, you could pitch me a case for the under. We have both teams under 4. You could pitch me an under 7.5. You could pitch me San Diego kills Pittsburgh because Skeens is broken and tipping pitches. I think all of those can be validated through analysis. Next up, we got Twins and A's. I'm just skipping this one. Taj Mahal Bradley on the bump for the Twins. He's a very heavy favorite on the road against Gage Jump and the A's. I think Gage Jump is a much better pitcher than he gets credit for. That ballpark is fucking ass. And as much as I do like Bradley at points on a per inning basis, I'm circling it with my mouse cursor here. 46% use on the 4-seamer with poor command and control. You can't do that in Sacramento. You're going to get yoked. He's had a couple issues with home runs at times. Also, he's had some struggles on the road. Last 30 days have been pretty. Same for Gage Jump. I think this one you got to go over or nothing. Books are already, kind of there with the 9.5. I guess, man, I don't know. I guess there's a 10 in there. I don't know. This one I kind of like the hitter stuff. I like Buxton and Keiskal, Bolt and Geloff to all kind of do things. But other than that, I just wouldn't touch this one. I don't like these ballparks that are so, I don't know, they add such a crazy element to it that I guess like I'm old. I wish all the games were played indoors, in controlled environments, and even had like uniformed ballparks. Like imagine, right? We don't even think about all these things at baseball. I mean, it's part of what makes it so unique and wonderful. Trevor, that's a crazy start. Pirates at 4-13 straight up in his last 17. I mean, since May 12th feels a little cherry picked, but last 17 is, half of a 34 start season. So like you're not, it's not a nothing sample. I always laugh, but it's like from May, whatever. It's like, why that? Yeah, Padres on the sun run. But to address the sun run thing, big nose, Fernando Tatis. When the great players hit the flow state, everything elevates. Everything elevates. He is unbelievable. We kind of knew it was happening. The underpinning stats were blinking. We were talking about his positioning in the batter box. I mean, again, I like to think every once in a while it looks like I know at least a little bit what the fuck I'm talking about. Jay Mean says, I'm sorry, that was Jerry Davis. Can't back the A's or the over with that lineup that they're throwing out there. Man. I mean, it's pretty whack. You're right. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I don't know. I like Bolt and I like Butler. And maybe you're right. Though, that said, I think, my friend, Jerry, I think that's baked into the number, right? I think if the offense was good, this would be 10 or 10.5. Yeah, spoon with me at the price it Skeens. Now, okay, fair enough. Then I misread you, Spoon. Spoon was talking about like where he's been. I was looking at this season. Yeah, it's been a step down almost no matter how you slice it for Skeens. I just not sure. Like, listen, he could go and give you 7 shutouts, strike out 13 guys today, and he won't be a underdog like ever again. That's I think what I mean that's in the cards. Next up, Jerry, you got me thinking about that. I don't think I go over the 9.5 in Sacramento with pitchers I don't trust, though I think are worthwhile. Anyway, next up, fighting Phil's Aaron Nola on the bump against George Kirby, the Pickle, and the Mariners. Gosh, what a series this is. That ruined my fucking day yesterday, by the way. Just totally ruined my day. I was talking about I wasn't betting it. I want a day off. I cut out some time to actually watch the Open because I wanted a pitcher's duel between Wheeler and Gilbert. Now, Wheeler looks broken. They were both giving up runs. That fucking, I didn't go under, but like I was leaning towards, I'm not going to lie, I never do. Right? I was glad to see our guy. I'm calling him the toaster from now on. I got such a fucking kick out of that. I know Toasty was on the 6.5. 6.5 are very low. So that got crushed in like the second or third inning. Are you buying Nola? I mean, he's got a 5 ERA for a reason. He also has good disciplinary stats for a reason. To me, he's the little girl with the curl, either really good or really bad. Kirby is kind of trending the other way now, man. Nola's giving up 31 home runs. Not a great home run spot, but Cal Raleigh looks like he's getting it going right now. Nola's been good last 30. I think that's worth paying attention to. Interesting to see if there's some adjustments being made. And Kirby's kind of falling off the face of the earth right now. Gosh, it's really brutal. Phillies offense definitely gets the nod, but Mariners offense can't be looked past right now. I know. It's like, oh, they were so bad for so long, and we don't love that ballpark. Two things. One, specific players on that team or the team in general have been known to be second half assets. Julio Rodriguez has always been a second half guy. Whatever the fuck it is. Once it hits late August, he's like the man. He's starting to hum. We saw Cal Raleigh, who, again, we don't think is a bad player. I think he's close. I think Cal Raleigh's closer to a great player than a bad player. He goes, what did he, triple dong, double dong, whatever the fuck he did? Maybe the Mariners are getting ready to get up off the bat. Oh, yeah. So, like, I don't know, man. A lot of mixed signals here. What's the total? I think that's where I'd be going again. It's probably to the freaking over. It's at 7.5. Models on the over, and so would IB. I don't even think the model outputs are reflective of how I feel about it, because the Seattle bullpen has been so freaking bad. It's like disgraceful right now. Let's check out the pen use. Phillies are totally rested. They're at 100%. I don't hate that bullpen, man. Bolin and Durant and Kirkering are not bad. It depends on, I don't know how many runs are going to be on the board. Now, Seattle is rested also. They've just been really bad. Maybe Munoz, off 3 days rest, gets his shit together. Last time we saw him, he got fucking crushed again. He's not been good. You know, you don't want your closer to have a 4.5 ERA and a walk rate bordering on the double digits, right? That dog don't hunt. So at model likes the Phillies to win, which I think makes sense because I think it's a better offense. I worry about putting my chips down on Aaron Nola. I think the best way to attack this one would be to go for the team totals. You know, Phillies are going to get the 9 frames to get the 3.5 versus struggling Kirby versus struggling bullpen. I think I like that play the most, because it just leans into the elements of the game that I like better, though. I don't know. I guess don't be surprised if I end up on the over, because, again, Nola is a walking home run machine. I don't trust Kirby. You know, I really like the Phillies, and if I try and short the Mariners offense, as I was just done talking about how I think we should be like, they're showing us in the box scores also. You know, again, not to keep backing up on, they're showing us, right? They're taking walks. They're not, no swing and miss. They're pulling fly balls. These are the things that we're looking for. Right, so maybe the arrow is starting to point up for the Mariners. All right, let's hurry the fuck up, man. I'm not going to get out of here. Shit, and I'm hitting the wrong fucking buttons and shit. I'm just losing my mind. Last but not least, it's Reds and it's Giants. Oh my G. Yesterday, I took such a finger in my pool. Again, I wasn't like betting. When I say I'm off, I'm legit. I'm off. I need to fully disconnect. It's tempting as it is for me to be like, oh man, I could bet like fucking 15-leg parlays and shit today without anybody judging me. Reds got shut out and blanked, and Burns got fucking fingered in front of everybody yesterday. This one I'm going to keep really easy. I don't get the total. I don't know why this one's totaled at 8. I haven't checked the line in a minute. I wouldn't be surprised if you psychopaths pushed it over 8. Is it over 8? No. Book's holding firm on the 08. Brady Singer, -110, both ways. Adrian Hauser for the Giants. Yes, I get the offenses are kind of ass right now. I mean, Giants are starting to hit a little bit. But I'm not selling out my Reds totally because they do hit home runs. We do got Ellie. We do got Blade. We do got South Stewart. You do have Suarez. There's fucking talent there. Both of these bullpens kind of fucking suck. I don't know how this one is FG08. In fact, I probably like this play as much as anything on the board. So give me the over on this one, and let's get the fuck out of here, man. I would say sorry to keep you, but, we keep it in the same... people have been checking it out, and the views are down a little bit. I think that's natural for baseball. Yeah, Antone had that early over. Boom, that shit hit fucking fast. J-Main, I even though we kind of disagree here, I want to lend credence and some validity to what you're saying, because that's something that I fuck with too. I used to put the toxic label on teams. Man, you have the Rangers. I feel like the Rangers are turning around. But J-Main saying that, there were teams that he won't bet on their garbage. Right? There were teams that are just you're putting on the no-fly list. And I get that. I think there's something to it. Save yourself the aggravation. Me, I'm gonna stay with the model and the independent event theories, although, sometimes it hurts me. Yeah, sorry to see that, Spoonie. If I didn't bet 1,000,000%, I would have led everybody like sheep to the fucking slaughter on that one. I love C. Montgomery Burns. Excellent. So please like the video and subscribe and all that shit. And if you're into fantasy football, there's a bunch of fantasy videos up. I did live stream some drafts. I had a couple guests, Frank Amarante, Pete Overzet, Theo Greminger. I was having trouble producing the guest ones, so I don't know, because I don't have a producer to check it in real time. I don't want to launch bullshit. So I went back to a show I used to do for fantasy baseball, which I call the Counterpoint. I listen to a lot of content, right? I'm doing baseball, so I listen to my favorite analyst, a lot of football content, and I take notes, stuff that I want to double check, stuff that I agree with, stuff that I disagree with. So check out the Counterpoint. I take, like I said, just things. Karain is really high on Mahomes, and I'm not. Jacob Gibbs was kind of low on Olave, and I'm not. So I'll just disagree with people. Brett Whitefield, super sharp, like film guy, was talking about 2 tight end meta plus 2 tight end meta. I think that's really important because I've based a lot of my drafting plan around that and how I see that moving forward. So, just a lot of stuff, how we do, me and you, the Corked Stats crew. And then I'm going to probably just start doing betting stuff. My fantasy stuff is not popular. The people in the industry don't, it is what it is. I'm not part of that thing. It's a very kind of geek kept thing. And I get it. It's niche and no one is trying to let big dogs into the fucking yard. Like, why would you? So, like, I fucking fully understand. Most people don't want to bring me on their show because a lot of times I've done it and you go and read the comment section and it's like, it's all me, and people don't like to get fucking outshone. So, nose, good luck to you too, friends. Enjoy the games, enjoy the day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. Thanks for picking up what I'm putting down. Please find it in your heart to support the show. And remember, when you work this freaking hard, the winning feels a lot less like